My name is Robinson Otim. I took the MBA 622 course, that's Organizational Behavior and Communication, here at Walsh. For me, taking this course has been an amazing 8 weeks of learning. It's been an amazing 8 weeks where I was able to relate the class concepts to my work experience. Back in Uganda, where I come from, I work with a young university. It's called University of the Sacred Heart in Gulu. It's just about 2 years old. In my work, I've been dealing with general administration, I've been dealing with a bit of human resource management, I've been handling communication, meeting people, and basically dealing with a lot of coordination. This course has enabled me put into practice what I've been doing in my work experience and relating them to the concepts in class. Earlier on, when we started the course, we went through the different theories of management and the evolution of management. With this, I was able to ask myself a question: what style of management do I like? And for me, by the end of that, I was able to realize that the kind of manager I aspire to be is one who is open, one who can involve the people he works with, one who listens, one who creates a working environment that makes his employees comfortable, being able to perform and get results. I realized also that as a manager, I don't have to only focus on work results. I need to be mindful of my employees and think beyond just what they go through in the office. Going forward, I also got to learn the importance of perceptions and attitudes when it comes to management or being in a workplace. I got to learn to appreciate, to understand and appreciate the different people and their attitudes they bring to the workplace. I also realized sometimes the attitudes we see being displayed by our employees is not really just what we see on the surface. Sometimes it's more than what we see on the surface. I also learned that sometimes as a manager, your attitude or your perception you have in place can affect. It has this effect that it goes down and affects the whole working environment. I realized this is something that if to be effective manager that I need to be mindful about. Going on, I learned about motivation and the different theories of motivation. I realized the importance of being able to motivate the people you work with. I realized the two types of motivation, the extrinsic motivational tactics and also the intrinsic ones. I was able to learn and relate that the things that motivate employees more are the intrinsic values. Those are the desire to grow, the desire to be better, the desire to progress in their work experience. However, I also realized that extrinsic factors are also very important. It's important to motivate your employees through good remuneration, through opportunities for promotion, through creating a work environment that makes them feel comfortable, that makes them feel appreciated, and makes them feel part and parcel of the organization. I believe as a manager, and when I go back to Uganda, I think I would be able to advise, or if possible, be able to take part and interest in making sure that the people I work with are motivated. And I believe that should start by myself being motivated and being willing to get the results from the workplace. What struck me most from this course has been the idea of organizational communication. My work has been very much around communicating. I've been responsible for handling, receiving, and sending out official emails, meeting a lot of people and speaking to them and listening to them, responding to communications both within the organization, within our university campus, but also dealing with people out. I got to learn that for any organization to be effective, then they have to be effective communication channels, effective communication management. What struck me also was about crisis communication. I learned that in any organization there will come a time where there is a crisis, and it's important to have a communication plan that addresses this. That organization should have plans that help them deal with this communication. What I find interesting also, I found very nice, was that you should always need to be sure of what you're communicating. As a manager, if you're not sure of something, then you rather not communicate it. It's also important that communication is left to the right person to do it. If you're not the best person or you're not the right person meant to make this communication, then you're better not communicative. If I go back to Uganda in my workplace, I think I'll be able to advise. I think I would recommend that our university opens up a communication department, a department that deals with handling official communications on behalf of the university. I think this would help streamline many factors and the different challenges that we may have with communication. As a manager for myself, I think I would love to be able to manage or to be able to deal with grapevine communications that go on in the office setting. I realized and learned that if not handled well, grapevine or office rumors may have devastating effects on not only the organization but also to the motivation of the staff who are working in these organizations. This course has also been interesting when I was handling, when we were dealing with groups and team dynamics. When we're learning about how teams are formed, I got to realize that teams go through a life cycle, right from the time they are formed up to the time they come to an end. I got to differentiate between temporary teams and permanent teams. It was very interesting in our class when we were given an opportunity to attend the North Canton City Council meeting. In that meeting, we were able to see the practical, the things that go on when teams are at play. We realized, for me, I got to realize and sense the importance of having an effective leader for any team. I realized that the role of the leader is not just to fill in a position, but he has to be responsible for coordinating. He has to motivate, he has to guide his team. He has always to remind them of why they are formed, why they are there. And that also brings me to the role of teams having clear objectives and goals. I think it's very important for teams to have goals that they are meant to achieve. And that has to be tied onto some sort of evaluation criteria. We need to be able to measure how effective teams are. And that can only happen if right from the formation of the teams, they are set with certain benchmarks within which their performance will be evaluated at the end of this course. When I get back to Uganda, I think doing my job, I think we realize that organizations they need teams to function well. I mean, work moves much faster if it's done in teams. Decisions made in teams are more binding than decisions made as individuals. For my work especially, I have been involved in organizing meetings of our board of our university. We call it the Governing Council. And the idea of virtual teams, those are teams that operate and yet they are not in the same place. Our board is very diverse and it has members who, others are abroad, they're not even in the country. Others are within the country but live in different areas. But I realized that we can still go on, have meetings of these boards and let them function even if they are not in the same place. Technology definitely will have to come in, but with the skills I've learned in this course, I think we'll be better able to manage the meetings that go on in virtual teams, hoping to keep them as productive and motivated and engaged as if they were in the same place. Yeah. Now moving forward, so I got to understand that teams will always have certain challenges. There will be conflicts in teams. There will always be the people we call the loafers, the social loafers, those that will be members of the team but will not contribute to the success of this team. As a leader, I realized that we'd have a great role to always remind these members, to always involve them, to always look for the good in them and let them be part and partial of the success of the teams. Something I take away from this course as we come to an end, it has always been interesting. The course has been very interactive. The class was very diverse. We had members coming from the sports world. We had people who work in universities. We have people from healthcare, people from taxation, accounting. And it was always interesting listening to the experiences in relation to all these work dynamics. We realized that the workplace is pretty much the same, and the theories on how you manage this workplace cuts across. I also love that I was able to share my experience being from another part of the world, from Africa. and being able to share the management and organizational challenges and how we deal with them. This has helped me widen my thinking as well. It has been a great 8 weeks of coming together and sharing of ideas. As I come to my summary, I think after taking this course, I think I'll be a better manager. And I think by doing that, I've learned that to be effective as a manager, then I'll need to first begin by making myself effective as an individual. I need to widen my scope of experience and knowledge. I realize that I need to learn to work with people. I need to learn to deal with my own weaknesses and to begin to see people as part and parcel of the results of the organization. Again, I want to say thank you so much to Walsh University and to Professor Prengerman. He's been an amazing professor and it's been a good time. I think from now on, I'll be a better manager. Thank you all.